Matthew chapter 5 is one of the most important chapters in the New Testament, presenting the teachings of Jesus in what is known as the Sermon on the Mount. This section of Scripture highlights the ethical and moral standards that Jesus espouses, which contrast with the traditional interpretations of the law and underscore the spirit of God's commandments. The chapter begins with the Beatitudes, which describe the blessedness of certain attitudes and behaviors. Matthew chapter 5 recitation and explanation verses 1 to 2, the Beatitudes. Verses 1. And seeing the multitudes, he went up on a mountain, and when he was seated, his disciples came to him. Then he opened his mouth and taught them, saying. Jesus begins his teaching in a quiet place. The mountain symbolizes authority, and his sitting position conveys the role of a teacher. The Beatitudes, verses 3 to 12, describe the blessedness of those who embody the values of the kingdom of heaven. Verses 2. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Verses 3. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Verses 4. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Verses 5. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. Verses 6. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Verses 7. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Verses 8. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Verses 9. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Each beatitude pronounces a blessing on what society often overlooks. They reveal the heart attitude of those who belong to God's kingdom, valuing humility, mercy, justice, and peace. Verses 10 to 12. Persecution. Verses 10. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Verses 11. Blessed are you when they revile and persecute you, and say all kinds of evil against you falsely for my sake. Verses 12. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for so they persecuted the prophets who were before you. Jesus acknowledges that suffering for faith is part of the Christian journey, affirming that such persecution is a sign of true discipleship. Verses 13 to 16. Salt and light. Verses 13. You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt loses its flavor, how shall it be seasoned? It is then good for nothing but to be thrown out and trampled underfoot by men. Verses 14. You are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hidden. Verses 15. Nor do they light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a lampstand, and it gives light to all who are in the house. Verses 16. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Here, Jesus emphasizes the role of his followers as influencers in the world, bringing flavor and illumination to a dark world through good deeds that reflect God's glory. Verses 17 to 20. Fulfillment of the law. Verses 17. Do not think that I came to destroy the law or the prophets. I did not come to destroy but to fulfill. Verses 18. For assuredly, I say to you, till heaven and earth pass away, one jot or one tittle will by no means pass from the law till all is fulfilled. Verses 19. Whoever therefore breaks one of the least of these commandments, and teaches men so, shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven, but whoever doesn't teaches them, he shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Verses 20. For I say to you, that unless your righteousness exceeds the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, you will by no means enter the kingdom of heaven. Jesus clarifies his relationship to the law, affirming its importance while also indicating that true righteousness goes beyond mere rule following. It's about heart transformation. Verses 21 to 26. Anger and reconciliation. Verses 21. You have heard that it was said to those of old, you shall not murder, and whoever murders will be in danger of the judgment. Verses 22. But I say to you that whoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. Verses 23. Therefore, if you bring your gift to the altar, and there remember that your brother has something against you. Verses 24. Leave your gift there before the altar, and go your way. First be reconciled to your brother, and then come and offer your gift. Verses 25. Agree with your adversary quickly, while you are on the way with him, lest your adversary deliver you to the judge hand you over to the officer, and you be thrown into prison. Verses 26. Assuredly, I say to you, you will by no means get out of there till you have paid the last penny. Jesus addresses anger, illustrating that the heart matters. True reconciliation with others is essential for worship. Verses 27 to 30. Adultery and lust. Verses 27. You have heard that it was said, you shall not commit adultery. Verses 28. But I say to you that whoever looks at a woman to lust for her has already committed adultery with her in his heart. Verses 29. If your right eye causes you to sin, pluck it out and cast it from you, for it is more profitable for you that one of your members perish than for your whole body to be cast into hell. Verses 30. And if your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off and cast it from you, for it is more profitable for you that one of your members perish than for your whole body to be cast into hell. Jesus deepens the understanding of sin, equating lustful thoughts with adultery, highlighting the need for radical self-control. Verses 31 to 32. Divorce. Verses 31. Furthermore it has been said, whoever divorces his wife, let him give her a certificate of divorce. Verses 32. But I say to you that whoever divorces his wife, except for sexual immorality, and marries another, commits adultery, and whoever marries her who is divorced commits adultery. Jesus teaches about the sanctity of marriage, saying that divorce should not be taken lightly and outlining the proper context for it. Verses 33 to 37. Oaths. Verses 33. Again you have heard that it was said of old, you shall not swear falsely, but shall perform your oaths to the Lord. Verses 34. But I say to you, do not swear at all, neither by heaven, for it is God's throne. Verses 35. Nor by the earth, for it is his footstool, nor by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king. Verses 36. Nor shall you swear by your head, because you cannot make one hair white or black. Verses 37. But let your yes be yes, and your no, no. For whatever is more than these is from the evil one. Jesus stresses the importance of honesty and integrity. One's word should be sufficient without the need for oaths. Verses 38 to 42. Retaliation. Verses 38. You have heard that it was said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Verses 39. But I tell you not to resist an evil person. But whoever slaps you on your right cheek, turn the other to him also. Verses 40. If anyone wants to sue you and take away your tunic, let him have your cloak also. Verses 41. And whoever compels you to go 1 mile, go with him 2. Verses 42. Give to him who asks you, and from him who wants to borrow from you do not turn away. Jesus challenges the principle of retaliation, advocating for love and generosity even towards those who wrong us. Verses 43 to 48. Love for enemies. Verses 43. You have heard that it was said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. Verses 44. But I say to you, love your enemies, bless those who curse you, do good to those who hate you, and pray for those who spitefully use you and persecute you. Verses 45. That you may be sons of your Father in heaven, for he makes his sun rise on the evil and on the good, and sends rain on the just and on the unjust. Verses 46. For if you love those who love you, what reward have you? Do not even the tax collectors do the same? Verses 47. And if you greet your brethren only, what do you do more than others? Do not even the tax collectors do so? Verses 48. Therefore you shall be perfect, just as your Father in heaven is perfect. Jesus radically expands the concept of love, calling his followers to love even their enemies, mirroring the unconditional love of God. The call to perfection is a call to maturity in love. Matthew chapter 5 emphasizes the internal and external aspects of righteousness as Jesus challenges the listeners to rise above traditional interpretations of the law. His teachings in this chapter set the stage for deeper discipleship and a transformative understanding of living in accordance with God's kingdom principles.